Well, good morning. This is Paul G and Anthony Vega here with Can We Chat? So we're bringing it to the second podcast, right?
Second installment.
Wow. So there was a lot of things going on yesterday. One of the being the local CA-IDPA match.
Yeah, it was a great match for some. Maybe a little bit of a disaster for others.
So, well, it started off early in the morning, 4 a.m., or actually it's 4:50 a.m. So the set was crazy. There was only three of us to start, well, 3.5. We were trying to get, next thing I know, I looked up and Leaf was trying to help us out. And he just got through surgery, so. What'd you think about the stands, the new stands? Did you take a look at the new stands?
I actually took a look at them. They're nice. Rather than having them just kind of sitting there on the berm there, they actually stuck in nice because we had some stages where maybe there wasn't enough of those, but
yeah,
I think those new stands are a game changer for that setup, being small bays with the dirt berms.
Oh, man.
They stick in and they stay put rather than hoping they'll kind of stay there.
Yeah, so Scotty only made me 12. I didn't know we were going to need more, but Kurt Stitzman, he shoved him into the thing, and I wasn't sure how to actually apply the things. So,
when in doubt, use a bigger hammer.
That's exactly what he did. He sat there and he goes, "Oh yeah, I knocked the crap out of it, and some of the paint's coming off." I'm like, "Oh, don't worry about that. They're indestructible." But how did you put them in? And that's exactly how he used. He used big old sledgehammers. So, 8 stages. What was your favorite stage?
I don't know. They're all great stages.
The 2 was the one that you were doing the heroic thing with.
Well, you always say I'm doing something heroic. I'm just trying to do my best.
That was one of those things that I always sat there and I always fend for the trying to be conservative when I go and I shoot, because I know it's the absolute. But in this particular case, I don't think that's exactly what happened.
Is that the one where, was it stage?
The headshot.
Oh yeah.
Right.
That was actually a fun stage. I think.
Man, you knocked off at least 6 seconds off of you just making that quick change.
Quick side shuffle, reload
Yep.
on the shuffle, and headshot between the barricade and the non-threat.
So this is his stage right here.
Stand by.
So, wow.
It felt good. I saw you kind of peeking at what I was looking at, and you're like, yeah, maybe, possibly. And
I think it would have helped if you would have shot first, but still, I would have, no.
You did have that thought, though, for a minute.
So I already had my stage plan in my head, and I sat there.
And then you saw me do a little quick shuffle.
Oh, man. I was... But that was definitely impressive.
Well, but if you had your carry optics on, would you have done that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm still trying to get used to the thing. So yesterday I made some changes to the gun. It's going into service, so I dropped it off with Robert, and Robert's taking care of a lot of stuff. My sear and stuff like that was
getting it all cleaned up, and
yeah, it's the first time that I actually cleaned it up ever since I owned the gun, right? So I thought it was probably time. He was still letting me know that
you might have been due a while ago.
It's kind of getting time before it turns into an automatic or something, right?
Yeah.
So
that would probably be a good thing.
So, and then the sight, I didn't resolve the sight issue thing yet. It was
not quite yet.
Yeah, I still got the
little jitter up in the front.
Well, I noticed that
carry optic, huh?
The steels, I didn't have too much issues. I just, one of those things that that's just me coming around the corner and I look up and I'm like, where's my sight? Yeah, type of thing. So this time I actually stood fast, looked at it, I'm like, oh, there it is, and then off I went. But still, you're so fast.
I try to be when you have someone like you always on my tail, then
That was definitely impressive. So, how's the family?
Family's doing good. I actually just today found out, less than a couple hours ago, have a new niece. Cousin.
Congratulations.
So family out in Prescott, they just had a little baby girl. It was born this morning, 6 pounds, 1 ounce. So yeah, it's nice to see, a text early in the morning, about 9 o'clock in the morning, that have a new cousin in the family.
Oh man, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Unfortunately, shortly or right after the New Year, lost Grandpa. So
right. He's going to be missed.
Definitely going to be missed. Definitely a hard one for the family, but
And that's why I asked. I was just making sure that the family's holding up.
Family's doing really well. Like I said,
Dad good.
Dad's really well.
Okay.
So can't ask for better. And so, along with some bad news, we got some great news. A new addition to the family. So.
Oh, fantastic! Well, congratulations with
Thank
that.
you.
So, how's your health? Everything?
Health is
how
good.
Do you feel sore from yesterday? Because I know I do.
No, don't really feel sore. I mean, I didn't take as bad of a beating, so maybe
Yeah. Not as bad as mine.
Yeah, I mean, so maybe the beatings weren't so bad, and maybe not as sore.
Whoa.
But
It's
no,
good
I
to be
mean,
young.
I'm feeling great. Healthy. Back issues have held up really well. Been trying to shed a couple pounds, get a little bit lighter on my feet, and hopefully keep improving. So,
I'm sure that's going to go for it. So, what you got in the bag?
So what got in the bag is a new California Sig M18. So it's in the 320 line.
So there's Sig Sauer, right?
Correct.
So this one is a CCP division type of gun.
Could very well be. Or even carry optics. So it does have
or carry
optics plate.
That's
to
right.
it.
That's right. So this is a 320, correct?
So it is in the 320 family. You have the M18, M17, and the P320.
Right.
Is all in the same kind of modular.
FCU.
Yes, same FCU as we covered in the 365.
Right.
Same kind of style, just larger platform.
So the 17 is the standard size one, or the?
So yeah, the little bit larger frame, a little bit longer barrel.
Okay.
But basically, for the most part, same gun, same family.
Right. Okay. And then the 18 is the
little bit shorter, so it'd be like
side.
more of the compact.
Beautiful. So I heard that the X's, right? So they're called the X's. The 18s, the 17 and 18s are the X's, right? They call that FCU and then the X.
Oh, so they do have the Legion X.
Right. So this is the one that actually won the contract by the
Correct.
military.
So the military run the 17 and the 18. So the 17 would be more like the field model versus the 18 more like the officer's model. So like the old 1911 combats, you had the field, the officer, the commander. So they're kind of going that same lineage for the 17 and the 18, being a little bit smaller type of deal.
Beautiful. So what makes the 18 different than the FCU?
Nothing much with the FCU, just frame size and slide size is only real difference. Just like, for instance, the 3-inch 1911 versus the 4-inch 1911, the commander versus the officers.
Wow, but this still is just by the FCU and everything else is modular.
Pretty much.
What an exciting gun, let me tell you.
It really is. Like I said, if you like the 320 line, it's just more of a military law enforcement style setup. Being that this is a California edition, we go over a couple of small little things and kind of do a quick breakdown. This model, from what I've seen, weighted out, we had it at 24 ounces, 23.8. The only thing that has been taken off this versus the California model is the loaded chamber indicator and the magazine disconnect that we could go over after we pulled the FCU out.
Right.
Testing it with a trigger pull gauge, we're at 7 pounds 1 ounce, which feels a little heavy and usually seems to be a little heavy, but with these SIGs, they're actually not a bad trigger for a 7-pound trigger, which is kind of an oxymoron, but it actually feels really nice, crisp, and clean.
So for competition, what poundage do most people like to go with?
It's a lot of it's personal preference and ability, and as many rounds as you shot. My staccato, I have it set to right over 2 pounds.
Yeah, so I'm at 2.5 myself.
Yeah.
So,
but obviously with the 1911 platform,
Right.
a non-striker fire firearm, you could get a lighter, nicer trigger pull, and a lot shorter reset. Where a lot of the striker fire guns, can you get them pretty nice? Yes, but there's always a trade-off with any gun manufacturer. You have your pros and cons, and it's more a shooter and their comfort level of where they need to be.
So the 18X is somewhere. They weighed out to at 30 ounces. They say 30.8
So I had
ounces.
I actually weighed it on my scale, and I had 28 point, or let me check my notes here. 23.8 ounces is what I
Really?
actually had it at.
So that
no
actually
magazine or
classifies as a bug gun.
I think it probably could be as far as
26 ounces
the
is the
weight,
right? Okay.
but I don't think as far as the size.
Oh, so it won't fit,
Still won't fit in
the box. So
Correct.
definitely a CCP gun then.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
Or going back, possibly carry optics.
or carry. Why would you want to use something that small with? Well, carry optics would definitely bring it back.
Definitely bring it back.
Yeah, since I have issues trying to keep the.
I mean, being that it is for the most part close to a full size gun, so I mean, most of your Glock shooters, if you're shooting a 19.
Yeah.
A lot of guys are shooting 19s. It'd pretty much be the same size. So there's plenty of guys that are shooting carry optics with 19. So that is a possibility.
I would love to shoot a compact carry with optics. That would be
interesting.
Really.
Could be fun.
So as far as ammunition that goes through that stuff, I noticed that they were having issues with plus Ps and remanufactured ammo being used in these guns. They said that it voids warranty. Is that true? Do you know anything about that?
I don't personally know anything about it.
Okay.
I haven't dove that deep into a lot of the issues manufacturers are having. I know since obviously that whole 2020 sickness type of thing, primers and all that have had some issues.
Right.
I've
Well,
personally
it
had
forced
some
us to
issues
go
as
that
well.
direction. Absolutely.
Could it be possibly some of those things that are still kind of lingering around? Good possibility. I mean, I know I've experienced some of those issues as far as primers and, possibly having rifle primers mixed in with pistol primers.
Right.
Powders questionable. I mean, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel for a little while trying to get out to the range.
So anything's possible as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So the P226, I guess it's their 40th anniversary for that gun.
Yeah.
So that's 40 years of making a
40
pistol,
years. And I personally own one of the 226 SAOs. So it's basically if the 1911 and the 226 had a baby out was creation. So maybe do a review on that one since not too many people actually do know about the SAOs, that they are single action onlys.
Well, I'm dying to see exactly what's in this firearm. So let's have Anthony break this down for us, and we'll see what it looks like.
Sounds great. All right, so here we have the Sig Sauer P320 M18, as from earlier in the video. Quick, simple breakdown. Only reason why I have this, guys, will actually take off the optic plate. So you're going to need a 3/32 Allen wrench to remove the optic plate for any kind of optics mounting. So with the M18, all we're going to do is pull this, slide back, pull your throw down lever, hit your slide release, and your slide comes off. To access the fire control unit, all you're going to do is pull your lever all the way out, strap it up, and then pull your fire control unit out. Straight out the top. A little harder to do on camera than normal, but fairly easy to tell this was actually been shot a fairly decent amount. You can replace your grip modules with any other grip modules from like Wilson Combat. Sig has some metal frames, and plenty of other manufacturers are actually producing them almost on the daily. As we set this one aside, we can actually access the cover plate. So you actually see two access holes. What you end up wanting to do is just press in your extractor plunger just a little bit to remove the rear cover. Drop that out, so that way you could actually access the screw on the other side. From here you end up undoing these two screws and dropping them all the way out. They will hold in the rear sight on this particular model. So can we remove these two real quick? And then you will actually access the cover plate. You can see that the loaded chamber indicator on this particular slide has been removed. As far as optic mounting, you can direct mount the Delta Point Pro, the EOTech eFlux, and the Romeo 1 and Romeo 2 Pro is a direct mount. Any other optics, you will have to end up doing some kind of adapter plate. Tradujicon actually does make their own adapter plate to do an absolute co-witness. Along with any other manufacturers, I'd highly recommend using a highly reputable manufacturer for any optic plates and optic plate mounting. As far as this goes, this particular firearm was tested at 7-pound, 1-ounce trigger. As discussed, completely modular. You could change any of your slides to your fire control module, to grip modules to your slides, and various optic mounting solutions.
Wow, that was a mouthful, wasn't it?
A little bit, with as many options they do have with these firearms, you could go on for hours about particular firearms.
You were really good at doing that. That was very informative. Thank you very much.
Absolutely,
for doing
anytime. I appreciate the opportunity to be able to do something like this.
So what is something like that costing these days?
I can't remember right offhand, but I think Turner's is like one of the hot sellers right now. I think they're right around the $800-900-ish mark.
All right. So on the website it says $650, but get in California, it's going to be at least right.
Yeah.
Eight. How easy is it to get one? Is there another wait list?
I know. I have a particular friend that drove all the way from Orange County to San Diego because they had a bunch of them. So
what we have to do in California?
Yeah,
it's just crazy.
I think he just made a couple day trips out of it and went down and picked up some lunch and all that with him and his wife and made a trip of it, and then same thing 10 days later on the pickup. So.
I actually so I went to Sacramento to purchase my bug revolver.
Ooh.
I don't know why I would want to do something like that, but they're the only ones that actually had one, and I needed one to compete in Arizona. So I drove all the way down there twice.
I was going to say, not just once. That's what, at least 24 plus hours of just travel time for a gun?
I do some silly things for the channel.
No, never you. Silly?
Thank you. So what's on the agenda for your shooting schedule? What's coming up next?
I definitely shoot the next club match in January.
Okay.
Not sure what to shoot, if we should just keep going on ESP or if we should start playing around with something else.
So I have to finish up my my CZ.
Okay. What do you got going on?
So I purchased a CZ 75B Bravo from the internet.
All right. Used, new?
Brand new. So I just had Robert. I just got it back from Robert. Robert took a look at it, made sure that it was safe, and, and so he gave me approval to send rounds downrange, and so he zip tied it, and I'm going to bring it to the range and just shoot it just like it is.
Nice. Any future plans with it?
I'm not a big CZ fan.
Okay.
It just doesn't fit my hand. And besides that, the magwell, I mean, it's really small, right? Well, for me, without a
like those large openings?
Exactly, without a funnel or, just to help me out. But so I wanted to try SSP, and that's it. That's the only SSP gun that I could get my hands on.
Not big of a Glock guy, huh?
Oh, man, I did that for 2 years, and I
gotta throw those little digs every once in a while.
So I trained with Bob Vogel. He was my coach for the longest time, and I sat there and I was squeezing the hell out of those Glocks, and so much that I would stop the slide, right? Or impinge on the slide, and it's just one of those things that it doesn't fit my eye. I don't have the posture for that thing. I don't know how you guys do it. You guys you're just incredible.
So some people just can get around certain things. Other people just cannot adapt.
Right. Well, you know, I one of my subscribers, he's on his third or fourth master with Glock guns and so forth. Or,
Hey, if it works for an individual, it works.
and for him, it definitely does. For me, you know, I'm sitting there still trying to.
And
chase
it's always so funny that you talk to some people and they're like, oh, I can't do this, I can't shoot this, I can't shoot this. And it's not that they can't, it's just there's other guns that are just fit their body and body mechanics so much better.
It was like night and day. Not that everybody should go out and get an STI or a Staccato, but it was one of those things that I went from an XD or a Glock to an XD, and then I finally got an STI because there was this individual in San Jose that had a used one. And I finally, anything that I looked at, there was the hole. And I'm like, it can't be that easy.
With a gun that fits your body style and your body type, it can actually be that easy.
Absolutely.
I mean, you think back in the day, Indians used to have these bow and arrows and no sights or anything like that, and they could hit anything they chose and looked at. So
yeah. And I think that's the very important for shooting firearms, right? To get matched up and get a firearm that actually feels good in your hands.
Something that's not quite one size fits all. Everybody has all these recommendations for different guns, and
I know
just because someone shoots it well doesn't mean this is going to shoot it well. So
I know how popular Glock is, right? And I have nothing to bad to say about the Glocks. It's just for me, it just doesn't fit my my posture.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I enjoy them. I like them.
I know you do. I've seen you shoot those too.
Yeah, but compared to the Staccato, was it a night and day difference for me? Yes. Not saying, like you said, everybody should go out and buy one. It's not going to make you the greatest shooter in the world just after getting this. Obviously, you have to train with what you have and what you practice with.
But you are definitely proficient with that Staccato. Let me tell you, compact gun, and I'm even shooting a full size gun. And for me, I thought a full-size gun was more accurate, right? And that's not true either. So
no, I mean, could a longer sight radius be more beneficial? Yeah, it can be.
Yeah.
But we're also not trying to shoot bullseyes at 25 yards.
Yeah,
we are shooting good enough as fast as we can to still be accurate.
Yeah, which brings in another account, right? As fast as you can. There's a lot that happens when you do as fast as you can.
We've all been to that one.
Well, stay tuned for the CZ video. That should be interesting. So I'm purchasing a firearm from the internet right out of the box, and I want to see if it's competitive worthy. Or is the Black Friday sales just a bunch of hype?
I think with the right shooter, and obviously the gun's going to have the right shooter, I think it's going to do very well.
You're so kind.
Every once in a while, you got to pull a little sugar on the wound rather than salt. So,
well, stay tuned for that. Hopefully, you got a lot out of this video, and if you do, like and subscribe. And once again, we are here with Anthony Vega, superstar.
I wouldn't go that far. Now who's buttering up who? Come on.
Right. So we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for taking a look at us.
Have a good one.